Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Follow up last week, government launched the system to help the small business and individuals overcome the coronavirus financial hardship. The government has announced the further system to help small business and individuals. The second announcement is way more generous than the first one. Compared to the other countries in the world, I think Australia is trying to catch up. I think lots of those systems are very useful, and there's lots of good points. I'm going to go through it with you here. The first system is to help the employer overcome their cash flow problem. I think that this is also the most important one. The way it works is the government will help the employer pay their withholding tax. In the first version of the assistance, the government will pay 50% of the withholding tax for their employers for the next 2 quarter BAS. But the new one come yesterday has increased that 50% government assistance to 100%. So which means if you pay an employee, apart from what you pay to his bank account directly, the rest, the withholding tax, you will not need to pay at all. The assistance range from $10,000 to $50,000 for each quarter. So which means you get at least $20,000 to $100,000 for 2 quarters. Which is to say, if you run a business and you employ people, could be 1, could be 10, could be a lot, the government will pay between $10,000 to $50,000 withholding tax to your business. If your withholding tax is less than $10,000, you will have a tax refund for each quarter. The business that is eligible to this benefit must be established before the 12th of March 2020 and should already be an employer. So which means if you want to set up a company now and to start the payroll for some of your friends or relatives in own work now, we're talking about between $20,000 to $100,000 benefit. Could be quite a lot to lots of business. To be able to have this benefit, you do not need to do anything. All you need to do is to lodge your March BAS on time and also to lodge your June BAS on time. It will be refunded after 14 days if it is more than what you need to pay. The income support is for the people who is on Centrelink payment, like the Jobseeker payment and the user allowance, parenting payment. If you receive those type of payments, the government will not only pay those payments, they will pay also an extra supplement, another $550 per fortnight to you on top of what you already got. So in total, you could roughly have about $1,200 in total for every fortnight. At the beginning, when I see this benefit, I was thinking, what is this to do with business? It's only helping the people who couldn't find a job. But when I look into a bit detail, I find it's different. The government in this assistance has extended the range for the job seeker. So in order to assess this benefit, if you are a sole trader or if you are self-employed or if you are a casual worker or a contract worker and you lost your job or your business doesn't work and you have stopped your business, you can start to apply for the Jobseeker Allowance. It actually helps the employer to be relieved from the obligation they have to maintain the staff, because those staff, even if they don't work for the employer and they go home and they try to look for other jobs, they can still get paid by the government for about $600 a week. And today I've heard Centrelink phone line or the website has been crashed because there's too many people rushing to Centrelink try to get this benefit. So if you think you are in those category, try to contact Centrelink as soon as possible. So follow up the last 2 benefits. The third assistance is the tax support. So if you currently have an ATO debt, here we go. This something could be really helpful. You can apply to defer the debt now. So the deferral could be about 6 months, so you don't have to worry about this for the next 6 months. To put the other ATO support in a simple way is that ATO will not chase tax debt at the moment. There will be no penalty or interest. If you had, they will remit it. If you have a GST refund, they will process the refund as soon as possible. If you have a tax installment, they can allow you to vary it to nil without asking any question. Overall, it is a lot more generous than what an ATO normally does. Another assistance is about lending to small business to help them overcome the financial hardship. Basically, it's not the government will lend any money to business. The way they help is they actually guarantee 50% of funding that lend to small business to up to $250,000 loan size. Also, government has reduced a lot of requirement for the loan process, so the loan should be approved a lot more efficiently. You should contact your lender or your broker to ask for more information about the funding available to your small business. They should have a few $250,000 loan product available from the bank and very easy to be accessed by small business. Another assistance was introduced in the first stage of assistance. It's to help business purchase assets. Basically, this assistance did not change from the first version. So for any asset you buy below $150,000, you can claim an immediate deduction in this financial year instead of to depreciate. So if you buy an equipment or a car for say $50,000, your taxable income will be reduced by $50,000 because you buy this asset and you do not have to depreciate. This assistance is to help business to obtain some immediate tax benefit if they buy any asset. Another assistance is to help employer keep their apprentice and trainee. This assistance hasn't changed from the first version. So the government will cover 50% of the trainee or apprentice wage from January to September, 9 months, and a total up to $21,000. So if you have a trainee or apprentice, you can keep them. The government will cover 50% of its cost. To be eligible to this benefit, you must have less than 20 full-time employees. So the trainee must be an existing trainee as at the 1st of March 2020. So if you want to start the training now, you won't be able to get it. Also, if you are in travel industry, education industry, or agriculture industry, the government thinks those industries are mostly affected by coronavirus. Therefore, they have set aside $1 billion funding to help those businesses restart. If you are in any of those businesses, you could check for more information later on regarding to how to apply for those assistance. Have you ever thought about your super when the hard time comes? Yes, there's a possibility you can early access your super. Normally, early access super is super hard, but now it becomes much easier. So if you are unemployed or if you are receiving Centrelink Jobseeker or Youth Allowance payments, you can apply to early access of your super fund. Also, from January 2020, if you think your work hours has been reduced by 20% or more, or if you are a sole trader and you think your business has been reduced by 20% or more, you can also apply to ATO to early access your super. This is a very generous offer considering the very strict rules towards superannuation fund in Australia. So if you're really hard and you want to make your super in good use, you can consider to early access your super fund now. One last benefit the government provides is a temporary relief for this financial distressed business. What this means is if a company is doing really bad in the coronavirus and it can't survive anymore and even run into insolvency trading, the government gave a relief to the director to take a responsibility for the insolvency trading because they think there might be a lot more to do with the virus instead of the director's behavior. Therefore, the government raised the threshold and the time period for creditor to seek statutory demand to those directors. I think it's a good or bad thing. Good thing is for the directors, give them a relief for their responsibility to run the company into insolvent. However, it's bad to the creditors because it's very hard for them to chase the director responsibility with this relief. Well, then there will be a lot of business when bankrupt or liquidation. Lots of debt will not be able to get back. I hope you enjoyed the video and find it useful. I hope all your best during the coronavirus and everything could get back to normal as soon as possible.